throw this into the air, and then this one will repel it, and you can actually make it fly. Okay, this is the fourth part of the electricity unit, and it's all about static electricity. You may have seen this when you're drying your clothes, and you take them out of the dryer, and they're stuck together. Well, that's a static electricity force. And so we can do that also by rubbing other things together. In the dryer, everything's rubbing, and it's also getting really dry. So all these activities work better if it's really dry. If you try to do them when it's raining, probably not going to work that well. So the first thing you do is get a balloon and you blow it up. And then you're going to rub it on stuff. You're going to rub it on stuff, and you're going to see if you can see that force, that electrostatic force. So here I have a little piece of string, and I have some salt. I'll put some salt on the table. And I'm going to rub the balloon, and I can rub it on my clothes like this, and I can try to see if it's attracting anything. And it doesn't seem to be attracting. And my shirt is made of cotton. Well, it's attracting a little bit. Oh, there it is attracting. And cotton works okay. Not that great, but it works okay. And a lot of things work okay. The best thing to rub your balloon on, though, is hair. Like hair from an animal like you, for example. You're an animal, so you can rub it on your hair, and then you get a lot more force. There's an electrostatic force that's raising up all these little pieces of salt. And so I'm trying that with the string, I'm trying that with the salt. You can also get a bunch of little bits of paper, little pieces of dirt or dust off the floor. Anything you want, you can see if it attracts, see if it's pulling on them. All right, so make a bunch of little pieces like that, and then once again I rub it, and I see if it's lifting them up. Oh, it does, it lifts them up like crazy. Okay, so that's static electricity. Okay, now you can also see it right on your hair, probably not on mine because it's short hair. By the way, it's not going to work if your hair is it's got oil in it or gel, or if your hair is too short. It only works with like smooth, clean, dry hair. But you should be able to find somebody. If yours doesn't work, you do it for a person sitting next to you. Or you can also get your animal. If you have a cat or a dog, you can rub it on their hair. And also the hair of sheep works. And you might have some sheep hair. It's called wool. So if you have like a wool sweater or a wool a scarf or wool anything, try rubbing on that. That's the best one. You get a huge static, it's called a field. This is called a force field. When I get close there, I'm putting a force on those little pieces of salt without touching them. That's pretty weird, because if I wanted to move this and I didn't have to touch it, if I could just go, I can move it across the table, that would be like extraordinary. Never seen that before. And that would be like a force field. Well, I'm doing that with this. I'm not touching the salt, but I'm moving it because it's in a force field. Okay? So try that. Rub it on the hair, and then you can see it pulling on the hair. If you have long hair, it'll be really easy to see. You rub it, and then you're pulling. So it's this material is pulling on the material that it was rubbing on. And that's because some of the charge moved. Some of the electrons moved when you were rubbing it, and now they are different charges. One of them is positive and one of them is negative, and opposites attract. So that's what's going on here. There's opposites attracting each other there. There's opposites attracting each other there. Okay, so another thing you can do is you can come to the side of your table or a chair, and you're going to hang a string off of the table. Just get a piece of tape and tape the string on. Now it's going to move easier. So I can put it like this, and I can see I can pull it all the way over there if I want. It pulls it all the way till it touches it. So that's kind of interesting. And you can also make it wet. You can wet it with your finger or wet it with some water. And now it's conducting electricity a little bit. And you can see if it acts any different. moving a little bit different, but it's still more or less pulling on it. Okay. Then you can get something else, like a little. You could get a pom-pom, or you could get one of these little balloons. You also have these little balloons, and you could hang those up and see if you can pull on those. Basically, you can see if you can pull on anything. Okay. So now I'm getting close to that balloon, and it's pulling on it. Okay, so I'm moving that thing back and forth without touching it. That's the force field. All right. If you have a bottle and it's super dry, there's no water left in it, you could put stuff in the bottle, and now you can try to attract stuff through the side of the bottle. All right, so you rub your balloon, you get it a little bit closer, and you can see the things moving in there. Well, maybe you can't see them, but I can see them moving in there. So this force field is going through the wall of the bottle, and is moving that stuff in there. Some of them are pushing and some of them are pulling. And I put some little pieces of paper in there as well, and they're kind of moving around. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah. So we got an aluminum can here, and you could pull on the aluminum can. Try to pull on the aluminum can. Oh, it's pulling it. Oh, and I try to pull it the other way. Ooh, it's pulling it across the table. Again, without touching it. It's amazing. A force field. All right. So all these things were pulling. Up to now, almost everything was pulling. Okay, but now there's two ways you could try to make it push on stuff. A force is a push or a pull. So you've got all these forces that I just showed you that were pulling. Now there's a few you could try that are pushing. One is with the little balloon. You can rub the little balloon, and you can rub the other balloon. And then you could try to see if one will push on the other one. Well, look at that. Now it's stuck to the side of the table leg. I wonder if it was stuck to the side of the salt thing now. Almost. I'll stick it right there. Nope. Ah, there it goes. It's stuck on there. It's not using the tape. It's got some tape on it, but it's stuck to the leg like that. Yeah, my gosh, it's stuck to the side of the table. I mean, to the leg. Okay, but I want to put it back on the string because I think I'm going to be able to push it. All right, so I'm going to rub this one, I'm going to rub this one, and then I'm going to lay it down there, away from the leg this time. I don't want it touching the leg. Get away, get away. And then I'm going to bring this over. It's sticking to everything now, but it's pushing on this balloon. Not very much, but it is pushing on it a little bit. It's pushing on the other side of it. The side that I rubbed is pushing away. See that? Okay, and that kind of makes sense because I rubbed them both, so whatever happened to this one happened to that one too. So now they're not opposite charges, they're the same charges. And like charges repel. Opposites attract and likes repel. That's the way it is with electricity, static. Okay, so that's one. And another thing you could do to show the pushing is to get a really thin piece of plastic. Right? You put some in your kits. You cut out a little piece of it, not too big, kind of like this. And you want it kind of stretched out, and you can cut all kinds of little pieces, not pieces, but little lines in it, like this. And then you're gonna rub that also. So you rub that on the hair, whatever hair you got, and you rub the balloon, and then you throw this into the air, and then this one will repel it, and you can actually make it fly. You see, it's flying. It's pushing on the balloon. Now I'm making this look kind of easy because I had a lot of experience playing with this. But see if you can do that. In the end, it sticks to my hand. And the balloon wants to stick to my hand too. So they're attracting to other things, but they're repelling each other. It's just like the first thing I tried. This little piece of plastic is getting a certain charge when I rub it. And the balloon gets the same charge. So now they both got the same charge and they're pushing on each other. All right, so give that a shot. See if you can make that happen. Oh, they stuck to the side of the string there now. Okay, basically you could try any kind of experiment you want. It's really easy to experiment with this. Just go around and see what you can attract, what you can try to pull with your balloon. You can rub other things too. You can rub your comb, so you can just comb your hair and then see if the comb will attract some of this stuff. PVC is another thing you can use. If I rub it on my hair like that and I come down here, oh, it's making them dance, going up and down, pulling the balloon. So a lot of times something that's plastic or glass will get a little charge like that and make electrostatics.